There is only one man battling the forces of evil. They are coming.
No!
They will find you.
No!
They will search for answers. No one has dared to go to save the world. There is only one. To beat the man, you gotta beat the man. He is legend.
You know, I have a message for the family and the long-term supporters of Darlie Routier. A lot of times people say, oh, don't listen to him. He's this, and that, and don't listen to him. But my track record shows that I've been highly accurate on this case for many years. I don't want any kind of sabotage to be put in your guys' passion for her innocence, if that's how you feel. We don't understand it. We don't know how you can look at what's been presented by the state of Texas and say she didn't do this. We don't understand that. But it's not up to us to understand it, because you have a right to feel the way you do. Now, recently, I had this new supporter. It's only been around a couple years. And I'm talking to the long-termers, the ones that know that every 4 or 5 years we have another whack job show up on the support side. Even J. Stephen Cooper admits in writing that there's a lot of whack jobs on the support side, and they hurt her case more than they help it. They waste time and resources. This comes from Darlie's appellate attorney of 20 some odd years, you know, that now most Darlie Routier supporters are people who just genuinely feel like she's innocent. You know, they're not willing to call your job or make claims about you personally, but they believe that she's innocent, and they'll fight for that. And they don't go for the drama that comes along with this. The thing with me is, I don't mind the drama. I'm a voice for a lot of us. Sometimes I say the things that my group of non-supporter friends are thinking, but just won't say it. But what I want to warn you guys about, as far as Darlie Key and Danelle Stahl and Dana and all of those that are close and love Darlie, this one here. You can take what I say with a grain of salt. But I'm telling you now, somehow she's going to hurt support. She's already makes you guys look silly, because she runs around here claiming that she's a licensed private detective. So even her, she just presents herself right off the rip as a lie. And I knew that from day one. And I tried to tell Rich that from day one. He was like, oh no, she's really smart and she's done a lot of good things. I said, okay, you know, you guys keep claiming fake science. The testing that Tom Bevel and, you know, Charles Lentz, you keep saying, oh, it's fake science, you know, they've admitted it, blah, blah, blah. Bevel admitted on the stand that his wasn't based on scientific stuff, and it's not. But when she did these experiments, you guys are, oh yeah, she did a great job. What do you have with her, especially with this Lowitzer family? All right, she's trying to move in on that and charge these people money as an investigator to investigate the disappearance of Alexandria Lowitzer back in 2010 from Spring, Texas, from bus stop. She had a short distance to walk if she would have went to work at the Burger Barn. And the last footage of her is her on the school bus, leaving a text to someone, and that's it. She disappeared. Period. And the mother and father, John and Joanne, have been pleading to the public for years for any help that they could get. And the word is that Sully had been investigating that case, along with someone else who was willing to do it all for free. A Darlie supporter who was willing to help another family for free on his own dime because he feels, there are victims in wrongful convictions, and there are also victims in people that come up missing. His heart's in it. His heart's in it. His heart's in it for the Darlie Routier case. Right? Rich can stand up to me, even if I'm aggressive and assertive and making my little jokes like I do, but he doesn't waver. He's like Daniel in the lion's den. He doesn't waver from his support of Darlie Routier. He does it from his heart. And over the years, there's been a couple of Darlie supporters that I could get along with. Like, I can give you an example, Danny Owen. We don't talk anymore, but we used to. And it comes from the heart. Same thing with Stephanie Hopkins. It comes from her heart. Even though Stephanie can handle, she can give a little drama. She'll get in there about the drama, but that's okay. But this clown that has infiltrated her way into your lives, into your family events, is a clown. You guys have made up all kinds of stories about me in the past, and we have her in her own writing, talking about the things that she has been through. But when I saw her selling memberships for $2.99 a month, that's what she advertised. It's in my videos. And she would tell you all about Devin and Damon Routier. What do you guys think about someone that tries to profit, misrepresents themselves to the public, tries to profit off the backs of your grandsons, your nieces, your nephews, your cousins? What do you think about that? Now, I hope that the Lowitzer family, when they find that she's been misrepresenting herself as a private investigator, if they have paid her, then she's committed a crime, a third-degree felony in Texas. And she was warned first. They are onto her. And the longtime supporters over the years, they have seen me come up with, all right, Lisa Lamb Fanska. Think about that, old timers. This one here is out for a popularity contest. I don't do it for, my channel doesn't even get views like it used to. Years ago, 10, 12 years ago, my videos would get 70, 80,000 views easy. See, I'm not networking it like I used to. I'm just kind of in it. I put videos up because, people in the groups ask me questions. I just put the videos up, put them in there, explains it. I just tell the story. I'm not as invested into it like I used to be. But this one right here, I'm telling you guys from my heart. You can think whatever you want to think about me just because we have a huge difference of a serious opinion. Does not mean that I don't think that you guys are people. I don't think about how bad it must be to be related to Darlie, because I know how it feels. And this is a snake in the grass. She's a snake. Snake in the grass, you guys. Janelle, I know. Because I know the whole situation. As far as what she's accusing Rich Prater of. He doesn't want to get too involved and be confrontational. But I'm going to tell you something that you guys should all respect about that man is he puts his name on it. He puts his money where his mouth is. He has been the butt of the joke several times, but he doesn't waver from his undying support for Darlie Routier. Nor does Bonnie. Bonnie supports him. It works both ways. Bonnie supports what her husband's doing. They do it because they care. Now, Rich is not a private investigator, but he's got investigative skills. He's self-taught web sleuthing. Because he talks about some of the cases that, he talks about some of the stuff he does. It's interesting. But the thing about it is, she's saying that even Danelle had called him a private investigator. And that's misrepresenting. And that makes you guys look like clowns. Especially when you got one of your clowns out here in the field trying to make money off of somebody that just wants to find out what happened to their daughter. Well, you might be able to help me. You're a private investigator. You got these skills. Well, here, take my money. Dolly wants paid in hopes that she'll find out what happened to Alexandria Lowitzer. She wants paid. Rich Prater didn't want paid. He just wanted to find the girl or find out what happened to her for some people that are grieving over her. So you guys think about that long and hard. Because we know that she's been taking money from these people in the Lowitzer case. If they feel fine giving it to her, then that's none of my business now. But I'm sure that they're giving her money because she's presented herself as a private investigator, and she's not. That's all I can do is put it in their hands. If they contact me, I will tell them who I contacted through the Texas DPS. I'm not going to send, they might question them. But if they say no, she's not giving me any money, then so what? There's nothing we can do about it. But we all know that Sully's not a private investigator. She's worked with kids in the psych unit. She's been a mortician. She's worked for the medical examiner's office. She was a backup singer for Madonna. She was the one that started Kentucky Fried Chicken. She's been everywhere, and she's nowhere today. What's she doing today? Coming on YouTube, calling Robbie Key Denny, making that really stupid sounding 911 calls. You guys should be embarrassed of that. She's a clown, y'all. She's a fucking clown. Get her out of here. Now, if you don't, I'm not stupid. I might be an asshole, redneck, fat, basement dwelling, Raymond Pride, eating shit in the basement. But I'm telling you what, I got intuition, and I had intuition on this one from day one. And you can ask Rich, because when I met her, after she tried to claim that she was a crime scene expert, and I've got that video. I was an expert in a criminal case. I have a background in the medical field. That's how I met her. Oh, really? I wasn't trying to burn her. I wanted to seriously know, because if she had this type of education and this experience, I might pay a little more attention to her when she's trying to tell me how Darlie's innocent. That's the honest God's truth. Okay, cool. So if they say it gives weight. So I asked her, what was the crime case that you testified as an expert in? Because she said it had to do with the capital murder case, a gunshot wound to the head. And she goes, oh, well, I can't really, blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, I'm interested, I said, I'm really interested, because you're standing up for Darlie. I said, I'm interested in your background. I said, I'll tell you my background. I'm just an idiot that sits in front of a camera with a little bit of intuition. Then she didn't want to talk about it. So then I started thinking, because if you tell me the case, I'll look it up and find out you weren't an expert on it. And since I hit her right, if you throw a rock at a dog, it'll go, every hit dog hollers. And she's a hit dog. She's a hit dog. Because that's what started it. I questioned her. Same thing with Tara. I was fine with Tara too. But when Tarek made that comment, Waddell was asleep in his cruiser. We all know that Waddell was not sleeping in the church. And that's all I did was call her out on it. Next thing you know, I'm dangerous. No, I proved you wrong. It doesn't mean I'm coming to get you, but I will prove you wrong. And if you come out on social media and you want to talk that shit about Darlie Routier, you better pack a fucking lunch, because if I don't know about it, there's other ones of us that do. And you're not getting away with it. You can play that shit to the sheeple. But if you've never listened to anything I've said to Darlie Routier supporters, that one is a snake in the grass. She's a snake.
I'm a slithery little sneaky
Trust me on it.
snake. Look at my tongue.
And again, since I might have you guys' attention at this point,
Look at
I want you to be able to find Darlie innocent. I think that you live on this hope that she really is innocent. And as soon as you stop with that hope, then, you're gonna know. But you have hope. You don't want her to die. I understand that too. I understand that even if you saw her killing Devin and Damon, you still wouldn't want her to die for it 30 years later. I understand that. One of the first things I asked the detectives after they arrested my son is I said, is this a death penalty case? It wasn't even on the table. The crimes were, even though they were the same, they were different. But that's the first thing I wanted to know, was they going to put my son to death? And I know that if I was, I would have to accept it. But Darlie Key and Danelle and Dana, they're not willing to accept it. And they want support from other people. So that's why they might say things that aren't always true. And look, I have caught them. That's the bottom line. I have caught all of them lying. Lying. And I understand that. Every time you lie, you really want to believe that lie. You don't want to believe that your daughter or your sister or your cousin, did this. And even if you knew she did it, even if Darlie came out tomorrow and said, yeah, I did it, you would be rallying to stop the execution. I understand that. I'm not your fucking friend, but I'm not your enemy either. If I hear any bullshit on the support side that's going to hurt the cause, I always mention it. And I've never been wrong, have I not, Darlie Key? I've never been wrong. Mark my words. She's a clown. She wants her name on shit. She wants the fame off of Devin and Damon. She's an idiot. I think you guys should stick with Rich Prater. Put your heart in it, and you trust him. He does not waver. Like, I don't believe he says anything to me that he wouldn't say to you guys. He really is really not feeling it. That Sully has came in there and tried to put a hurt on the relationship that you guys have had for the past 5-6 years. Because his heart is in this for you, and for Darlie, and for Devin and Damon. That's why we get along. Same thing, different sides. I feel for you guys, I really do. But I'm not going to put up with your shit. God love you all. I hope you get what you want. But in the end, what we all want is justice for Devin and Damon Routier.
It's